Oh, I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody.
Is it going?
I think so.
Oh, I should check.
I just don't know where the chat is because I'm using Google Hangouts instead of. Oh. All right. Hello. Me encanta la caca, mi amor. I don't know what that means.
I love you. Something caca, my love.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, hi everybody. Heather here, and today, how do I explain this? Well, first of all, thank you to everyone who donated through my last live stream campaign. I'm currently streaming from my new MacBook Pro. So, yay! Thanks so much to everybody who helped out. I mean, obviously, I got it. So, I also got Final Cut Pro, and I need a crash course on how to use it. I know how to use it, and it's basically a mini version of iMovie. I mean, it's a huge version of iMovie. So, I think I can figure my way around, but I also want to learn from someone who's been using it this whole time, and that is Tom. That's the program he's been using in his classroom for his channel to make hundreds and hundreds of videos. So I have a few key points I want to ask him, but if you are considering Final Cut, like upgrading to it, or even if you want to know like editing basics, I think this might be something that you'll find helpful. So we're going to screen share this whole thing, actually. So you'll be able to see my screen, and Tom is just going to walk me through it.
So if you want to know some of the basics of Final Cut, this will be a very quick intro to Final Cut.
Hi, Gino, Giovanni. I got the MacBook Pro 13-inch with the touch bar. So yeah, thank you. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into this. I will try to check your chats, but I'm also, what is that? Links. Oh, but I'm also eager to learn as much as I can here. So, okay, here we go. We're gonna screen share. Let's close that.
There's so many screens moving around.
Screen share.
Oh, you can do an application window. So if you open up Final Cut.
Okay. That's not the same.
You instinctively clicked on iMovie.
My instinct.
And iMovie is great though. Like it's not a bad app, especially for free.
Yeah.
But you definitely outgrow it at a certain point.
Gino is fine. He's Premiere.
I mean, those are the two, like most people use Final Cut or Premiere. One or the other. There's some other apps, but those are the two big ones.
I think the reason why I'm leaning towards Premiere is because I can't afford like a learning curve, and I've used it before. I have Tom to help me.
You're leaning towards Final Cut?
Yeah.
You said Premiere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Final Cut. That's why I'm choosing Final Cut, is because
I would like to beef up my Premiere skills, really.
Yeah.
But I love Final Cut.
All right, here we are. So I have to make a library.
Yeah, so the first thing, it'll actually make a library automatically, which is just where you store all your footage.
Yeah.
What I have done is, especially since the computers don't have the biggest hard drives, instead of keeping your footage on your computer, I always keep it on a hard drive, which I think is what you do too.
Yeah.
So your computer never has anything stored on it. It's just the editor, basically. So do you have a hard drive that's already plugged in? Okay, cool. So you should be able to do File and then New and make a new library.
File, New.
Library. And you should be able to choose that library exists on the hard drive. And
trying to call it a logo.
I would give it, yeah, a real name.
Save.
And that's it. And it's just important to remember.
So this is on my...
Untitled is like the default one.
Yeah,
you could delete it because there's nothing on it. It's just important to remember to plug in your hard drive before opening Final Cut so you can get to it, and then to close out Final Cut before you disconnect your hard drive.
Right.
Otherwise, you're good to go. So new project. And then
Just
however you want to organize your stuff. Some people like to do new projects for every project. I just have the same project and I just wipe out all my old projects every time, which is probably not good, but it's what I do. If you click on custom settings, it will, that's where you could set things. So like right now, for some reason by default, it was set to 720.
I want 1080.
1080p.
This one?
Yeah, you could go up to 4K 360 because Final Cut does 360 and everything now, but.
Oh, you can edit 360.
In Final Cut, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna
4K, 5K, all this stuff. Everything else looks good. 1920 by 1080, 24 frames a second.
So how would I do a square?
You would do, when it goes to format here, you could do custom, and then you can just type in the dimensions you want, and you would just do 1080 by 1080.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do post or social media, you can do square video.
Okay.
But,
and then I don't leave I just leave that.
Yeah, because I mean, your camera, if your camera's not set to 24, it should be set to 24.
The iPad, so I can check comments. Okay.
Yeah. That's it. And then we just click OK. Boom, and there it is. So they can see this now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I think. I'm sure they can.
It'd be great to, you have footage to import?
Yeah.
Okay. Boom, and there it is.
There
so
it
they
is.
can see this now, right? They can't see us. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So basically the default way Final Cut is set up is up here in the left. This is where you can organize all your footage. Down here on the bottom is your timeline where you're actually going to edit. You can hide this, right? It won't hurt anything. Just get rid of it. And then up here is where you can actually see your editor, and the inspector is where you can adjust all the settings, effects, and whatnot.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people who, when Final Cut switched from Final Cut Pro 7 to Final Cut Pro 10 in 2011 or 12, they hated it. And it was a huge step back. It was basically like, that was where Premiere wasn't really around that much anymore. Final Cut was kind of the main thing. Apple switched to, they basically made Final Cut just like iMovie. And then everyone ditched it. And Adobe was like, cool, we're going to jump on this opportunity. And they beefed up Premiere. And that's when tons of people jumped over to Premiere. And a lot of people haven't looked back at Final Cut since, and that was 2011. Final Cut Pro in 2018 is basically just as full-featured as Premiere. Some things work a little differently, but anything you can do in one or the other. It just kind of depends on which one you like the most. So anyway, that's, the interface might look different if somebody hasn't played with Final Cut since like 2011 or 12. It's definitely a lot more feature-rich than it used to be.
Got it.
So
okay.
Anyway,
I just wanted to, if you were gonna talk.
I was just kind of explaining because Final Cut has only looked like this for maybe the last 6 or 7 months. It got a pretty big update last October.
Got it.
So anyway, if we want to start stuff, you could click on the little downward facing arrow in the top left, which is the import. You can also just always drag stuff straight to the timeline, which is like the Bobo way that I do it. It's so messy and bad, but we'll do things correctly. And then wherever your footage is, we can just find some and drag it in.
Okay, so explain to me how the importing works. Because in iMovie, I had so much trouble with this. So what I would do in iMovie is I would put the footage on my external hard drive, and I would create events that basically, I would do everything by date.
Okay.
So like, today is June 18th. I would have a folder on my hard drive that said June 18th. I would have an event in iMovie that said June 18th, and I would drag all the footage into there.
Okay.
And now what I thought was happening was that iMovie would basically create like those proxy files or whatever. It wouldn't actually.
It depends on what setting. I don't know how iMovie works, but Final Cut.
Okay, so we can.
On the import thing here, you can say files copy to library or leave files in place. So you would want to leave them in place. It will leave them on the hard drive.
I just don't want two.
Right, and you want them on your computer's hard drive. You want them on your external hard drive.
Okay.
So just click leave files in place.
So you do that every time.
Yeah, and then and then it's up to you if you want to add it to an existing event or create a new event.
Yeah, I'll just put it here. That's fine.
Your own thing.
Okay.
Everything else is pretty good. Like,
what's this?
I don't do any of that. That's like, I don't like dealing with proxies because
I don't even know what that means, so that's fine.
It's I mean, it's a good thing to do if you're dealing with lots of large files, but for regular 1080 video, I don't think there's any need to. You can just find some random footage to import.
Here, I'll just whatever.
It doesn't. Just as long as there's a couple clips we can chop up and move around, we're good.
Of course, there's not.
That's fine.
Oh, here, let's do this one.
Okay.
And this one.
Okay, cool. And then you just import selected.
Okay.
There you go. So this looks pretty much like iMovie, like the way you select and import and stuff, which is actually where the two work really well, because if you're familiar with iMovie, you jump into Final Cut and some things will feel really familiar.
Aw, Gino. Thank you, man. Jeez.
Wow.
You are awesome. I have my iPad, so I'm looking at comments. Thank you.
Just Gino recommended the Samsung T3s, T5s. Those are these really awesome solid state external hard drives that are super durable and reliable. They're just super pricey.
Oh, yeah.
But they're really, really cool.
Cool.
Oh, and he offered to help me out with Premiere.
Oh.
What I really plan to do at some point is do like a 10-day upload challenge, but only use Premiere.
Ooh, oh, that's a great idea. I would love to see how if your style changes.
Oh, it would change.
Okay, well, let's keep going. Thank you, Gino. I appreciate it. You are awesome. Gosh.
Okay.
So basically, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna all this is like this is
same
the
thing as iMovie, exactly the same.
Cool, and then you drag. Okay.
Just drag some stuff down below. So and then there's your clips. The difference is.
Look how cool this is.
Oh yeah, you got your touch bar, which will like.
Yeah, that's cool.
You have options. The difference is, you could, instead of iMovie where you just have your one layer, you could stack basically infinite layers of video.
I can't believe you couldn't do that in iMovie. Okay, how do I add text?
Text. So up here in the upper left, there's a little T and a square. Those are all the titles. You have all these options. The 360 ones are 360 titles. So,
oh my God, are you kidding?
So you could do 360 titles.
No.
If you do them in not 360 video, they're totally bizarre though. So don't do that.
Does it? Okay, yeah.
I always just stick with a custom title, a basic custom title.
What do you mean?
So if you go up, there's all the like templates and things. Some of them aren't too bad.
These are all like iMovie templates.
Yeah, I usually just scroll back down to basic titles, like a great place to go. Just click and drag it. If you drag it on top, it'll be on top. If you drag it, to the side, it'll be over.
No. You don't understand what I've been dealing with, okay?
Can I blow your mind one more time? So let's put the title on top here. And the title right now, basic title, is just a text, but you can position it wherever you want.
I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry.
And then,
like, literally, I'm going to cry.
And then up here, this is where you can go into the editor, so you can change your title. You can change your font. So whatever fonts are installed on your computer.
And you could have double fonts.
You could change the size. Yeah. I mean, you can stack your titles too. You could have infinite titles.
Oh my gosh. And it doesn't fade in and out?
You can make it. By default, it doesn't. You can adjust everything. The important thing, because people always ask, if you want to change the color, you have to go down to face, and then that's where you can change color, opacity, blur. You can add glows or outlines or drop shadows or whatever.
Wait, where do you set? Because in iMovie, it was default fade in and out.
Right now, by default, there's nothing. The title will just pop up on screen. You add fades the same way. Basically, over here in this corner, these two triangles are transitions, and these are layers or effects layers. Yeah. If you click on transitions, there's all the transitions. Typically, you would just want to make titles cross-dissolve since they're on top of video, and then the title will just fade out.
Got it. Okay.
But if you zoom in with Command plus or minus, you can then change the duration of the cross-dissolve, which usually you want pretty quick.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. And if you wanted, you could have titles everywhere, images everywhere. Basically, your video is going to be here and up. If you add in audio tracks,
it goes down.
They're down on the bottom. So.
Okay. Got it. You can add emojis, yeah.
You can add anything, really. And basically anything that's on your computer. And the important thing too, when you click on anything, whether it's a title or a video, if you go over here to the inspector, anywhere it says show, it will give you a ton more options.
Okay.
And then,
oh my gosh, I can't.
You've got video.
I should just upgraded like
got color grading. You've got audio, and then you've just got the information for the clips. So if you just need that, but these three things here are obviously where you want to go. Because if you go into effects, there's a bunch of video effects.
I'm not going to deal with that right now.
And then there's audio effects, but you add them the same way. So basically, I mean, just like Premiere, if you have an idea of something you want to do, there's a way to do it. So you're no longer limited by the program.
Okay.
And then, if you wanted black video, in the title thing, there's generators, which are just like video generators. Some of them are really hokey, like these bubbles and things. But if you just take custom, it's just blank video.
Like black. Just
black. And then you can change the color of it if you want it to be different, and then you can change the duration of it. So if you just wanted black, Premiere will let you just set things anywhere on the timeline. Final Cut snaps everything together. So if you need black, that's just the way to get black.
Command B.
To do what?
Cut.
Oh, no, if you want to cut something, just click on it and press delete.
Cut on it.
I
mean trim.
Just that's a good one. Where the arrow is, those are all the controls, and there's all the shortcuts. So the blade is just B, no command.
Oh.
So you can just do B, chop, A, boom, move it up, whatever you want, and you can just keep stacking your video.
How do you do picture-in-picture?
There's a few different ways. The easiest way would probably be, here, we'll just move this over here and make it bigger again. Oops. I'll turn the volume down just so it doesn't sound insane. I don't know what people are hearing. The easiest way to do picture-in-picture is just to click this transform thing, and then you just, transform it and move it wherever you want it to go. And click done. And then you can add, if you wanted to click on this, you could add like drop shadows.
I can't believe this.
It's more complex, but it's actually easier because you're not. Yeah, it's not stopping you all the time.
Even in Canva, I had to, like for my end cards, I couldn't move the text. So I had to put the text directly onto the image. But now I could just I don't need.
You can do all that in you can have your background image just do the text in Final Cut and make them fade out and be different colors.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Export. That was the last thing I needed.
Let me think if there's any other really important basics though. So up in the audio library, obviously the music is all the same cheesy stuff that you would never use, but sound effects.
It's pretty good.
Final Cut has a huge sound effects library. You can search for some, but there's everything, you're like vlogs and stuff. You might not need a ton, but there's some really helpful stuff. It would make sense if you showed thunder clouds in a video to have the sound of thunder.
Yeah, okay.
Or ocean, like you see the beach and then you got ocean. We'll add in audio just so we can see what it looks like. So the audio pops there. You edit the audio the same way. You do that. The weird thing about Final Cut is it always wants stuff to connect to something. So if I cut it in the middle, since there was nothing here, it just added this other blank video. You can just delete it. That's it. So when you're ready to export, it's just Command E to export. And then you have a lot of settings you can change. But the important thing is down in the bottom right, your file size. So you can see, that's the size project we chose. It's got sound. There's the length. It's going to be an MOV for now, which is fine. You can change text. That's where you can change the title or add a description. If you go to settings, and you only have to change this once, this codec right here, do H.264, and it'll stay there. And it keeps it HD, but it makes it way smaller file size.
What do you mean I only have to do that once?
Now that you've set it, whatever you set it as exporting, it'll keep those settings for the next time.
Okay, so I just have to make sure it's
264. And if you click on format also, there's a bunch of different other options. So if you wanted to just do the video or just do audio or
Okay.
But this, for standard stuff, that's the way to do it. And then just click next. Where it's going to save. Let's export it to your desktop just so we can see how it looks. Save it. And then up here's the status thing. So this little circle is going to be like a gauge that fills up.
Oh my gosh, it tells you the percentage?
Yes, if you do Command 9, it will tell you the percentage. And then when it's done, it pops up and does that. So it'll always tell you when it's done. Look at this on your touch bar.
I know, it's cool. Whoa.
Touch
There's an
cool.
ocean sound.
Oh yeah, it's just all the weird stuff we made and the title. What a great video.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Wow.
And that's
wow.
And Final Cut also saves automatically, which I think iMovie did too. So as you're editing, you just close out. Premiere does not save automatically. So if you're using Premiere, always save it throughout your project.
Okay.
That's it. Those are the basics. Pretty great. I love it. And then you can get into keyframes, you get into color grading.
Actually, it's fine. Things happen the way they happen. But freaking iMovie. I'm what, 220 vlogs in iMovie?
I mean, you're a power user of iMovie. But you definitely hit the wall where, like, you know, because there are so many times where you'd be like, can't you just put this on top of that or just do B-roll this way? And you're like, no, it's not how it works in iMovie. Like, oof, it sucks.
You have one additional layer.
That's it. Ugh.
Up and down. That's it. Well, that suck.
It does suck.
Can you imagine?
No.
Do you know how, like, creative I've had to get?
I mean, that's, in a way, that's probably an overall better thing. Than
I know. But okay. So that's it. Hope you guys found that helpful. Is there anything else that I should keep in mind?
Just checking with our I don't know where the stats are. Oh no, what do we? I don't know what. I messed everything up.
Oh, it's because it's Google.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah, I mean that's the basics of Final Cut, the very basics. It's the thing I like the most about Final Cut, which I don't know that I could say about Premiere, but maybe, is Final Cut can be as simple as iMovie. So if there's someone who literally is just like, all I want to do is put clips in order and add a song, you can do that super easily without needing to know a lot. But if you want to go nuts and make a feature film, you can do that too. That's what I like about it. I mean, Final Cut is also just really fast. I'm personally much faster with Final Cut.
Optimus Jack says it's going to drain your battery.
It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, video editing on anything will drain a battery, but I don't know. I mean, I use Final Cut on my 4 or 5-year-old MacBook with just battery power all the time.
Yeah.
You can't do it for 8 hours, but
right.
You can do it for a couple hours.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so probably the next vlog I upload is going to be Final Cut.
Yeah, should be.
Yeah.
And you should be able to import even your iMovie files if you have them and you want to like tweak them.
I won't need to.
But if you did.
Yeah. No. Premiere is, Gino says Premiere is unsympathetic. If you don't know it, you're not going anywhere, which sucks. Oh gosh, see that's what I'm afraid of.
It's not intuitive, but it's one of those things too where once you get the hang of it, then you kind of have a basic hang of like the Adobe suite. So if you wanted to jump into, if you got the basics of Premiere and you jumped into After Effects, which is completely insane, it actually wouldn't be too foreign. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things to say about Premiere, because I know that is like the wars, like Final Cut versus Premiere. People have very heated opinions, and really it's just whatever tool works best for you, and they're both fantastic. But they both have their pros and their cons. But at this point, in terms of capability, they're both equal, and a lot of people don't realize that Final Cut has caught up to Premiere.
Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Gino, thanks again. I so appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. I learned a lot. I'm excited to use this.
I hope that was helpful.
It was.
It felt quick, so I was like, ah.
Well, I don't think I knew. I mean, I really want to know about the square and the exporting.
Yeah.
So.
You got those.
Captions?
They just added caption support, but I haven't used it yet. But it's built in now to do captions and export an STL, or not STL.
SRT.
SRT. STL is 3D printing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can do that within it. I just haven't done it yet.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Trying to think like what students always deal with. That should be enough to get going. I mean, I start 9th graders with Final Cut and they're fine.
I know, that's crazy. They have no idea how.
Yeah, it's
okay.
They're fine.
Thanks, Gino. All right, guys. So we're gonna log. If you have any questions about Final Cut, you can tweet Tom. I'll probably tweet my questions to him so that you can see.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, what I'm asking him as I'm going through it. So, all right, guys. We'll catch you later. Bye.
Bye.